Mom, a few years after the war ended, people were again allowed to travel to Germany, but there were restrictions on what they could bring with them. When your family went to visit relatives, your mom found a way to transport extra money. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was 13 at the time. This was the first time we were allowed to travel back to Germany. My parents were very keen on going, and my mom was very keen on spoiling her relatives, on bringing them gifts. They had suffered a lot during the war, just as we had. My mom saved up extra coffee, extra tea, extra tobacco. But what was much more difficult was to bring extra money. One was allowed to bring so much for every person in the family who was traveling. Well, my parents decided we were not allowed to bring enough money, so we had to find a way to smuggle it, literally. Well, how can you do it? Both my parents and us kids were not too keen on soldiers, and we knew that the douane at the borders were soldiers. At least I certainly thought so. My mom found a way to smuggle money in because, well, we brought 4 children. One was a boy, and the 2 middle girls were having new headbands or hairbands. We were having new skirts, and my Aunt Agnes had sewn a headband for each for my sister and for myself to match our skirt. My mom opened my headband and she sewed money in there because she figured, as I was still a scrawny little girl, I was 13 but very scrawny and small, that nobody would suspect a child of smuggling money. The idea was, of course, that I didn't know it, but as I had overheard my parents talk, I knew that I was smuggling money in my hairband. That was fine when we went on the train for quite a while until we came towards the border of Germany. Well, just a bit before Germany, the train just slowed down and down, came to a complete stop, and the Dutch douane came on the train. I wasn't worried for the Dutch douane. I don't know why not. I just wasn't. Then the Dutch douane left the train and the German douane came on the train. Now then I was scared. I was very scared. I didn't know what to do, where to go. I knew I had that money in my headband, and those Germans were still wearing tall, shiny black boots. I didn't know what to do, so what I did was I went to the toilet and locked myself up in the toilet. In those days, what you had was just a chair thing with a ring, and you could sit on that, but below the ring was nothing but just the gravel between the tracks. That was how it was in those days. We're talking 1948. So I sat there, and then I heard the whistle again. And when you hear the whistle, you know the train is going to move. And you know the German douane has to get off the train before the train starts moving. So when I heard that whistle, I thought, okay, all is clear, I can come out. Only when I opened the door of the toilet, there was a German soldier right there. "What are you doing in there, little girl?" I had to go to the bathroom. You know you're not allowed to. When the train stops, you're not allowed to go into the bathroom. But I had to go pee. I didn't want to dirty myself. Anyways, at that point in time, my dad was there. He just took a hold of me, grabbed me, and pulled him to himself. The German soldier got off the train, as did all of them, and the train continued on to Oberhausen. I was not caught. The money was safe, but I can tell you my heart was going bing, 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 bing.